Hello and welcome to the first podcast for BISD Academics. This year we're trying to flip our informational meetings so that we don't have to draw everyone together into a common location, but we can communicate important information to get the year started. I'm Julie Hyman and I am the Advanced Academics Coordinator for Birdville ISD. At this point in the year, you should have already received your advanced placement scores for the year. Recently, I sent a packet of IPR protocols and the IPR printed report from College Board to campus. Your academic dean should have received those materials and should pass them out to you, if they have not already done so, very shortly. You will be able to use the BISD AP IPR protocol to guide your reflection on the student performance in your class, or if you're a new teacher to AP, into the performance of students in the program last year. We want you to use the IPR protocol to think about instruction for the upcoming year and really answer a series of questions that can help you collaborate with the members of your district PLC. Every year, the question about AP mock exams seems to bring controversy and deep discussion, mostly centered around the concept of why do we give AP mock exams. We have a very clear purpose for why we want you to give a mock exam. It really is to be used as a formative assessment before AP testing in the spring. We want you to use the AP mock exam to provide information for your students, your parents, and yourself on progress toward performance targets that the students have set. It will allow you to plan for reinforcements and interventions as needed prior to the beginning of the testing season, which includes not only AP testing, but STAR testing as well. Also, AP such insight into syllabus revision and curriculum revisions that you need to make for the coming instructional year. To that end, we have created a series of AP mock exam guidelines for the district. These guidelines were first offered last fall, and after a series of feedback meetings from districts, teachers on campus, we have finalized them and we're going to follow them again this year. Our testing window will be consistent with the testing window that we had last year. For one semester courses, you will have a testing window of the exam days at the end of the first semester. If you teach a year-long course, the window opens in February, on February 15th, and closes on April 10th. Your district PLC members will decide when you want to give your AP mock exam within that window. You will decide if you need to give it earlier for grading purposes such as the ELA courses, or if you want to give it later in the window so that you have a complete picture of student progress, or as complete as possible by April the 10th. Once your district PLC has come to consensus on when you will give that AP mock exam, you'll need to notify your AA liaison on campus. That will be David Smith at Haltom High School, Nancy Hopper at Birdville High School, and Mike Gerard at Richland High School. They will send me a complete list and timeline for all the AP mock exams within the district. There are other AP mock exam guideline deadlines for submission of your mock exam to me for inclusion in Aware that will be included on a handout that will come to you through email. Also, delivery dates for mock exams and guideline dates for entry into Aware system will all be included on that handout. Remember that you have several options when deciding when and how you want to give your AP mock exam. You can give it in class across several days of instruction. That option provides the least disruption to other teachers' schedules and gives you the most control. If you want to give it in one setting, you may choose to give it after school or on weekends with approval from your campus administration. But students may not miss any other academic classes to take an AP mock exam. This is district practice, and it really comes about based on feedback we've gotten from teachers not wanting to have their students miss instruction for another teacher's class at this very critical point in the year. I know you'll be working together to create your mock exams, and we created a full complement of exams last year. If your district PLC is going to use the same mock exam that you used last year, that is a great scenario. I have all the digital copies that were sent to me, but if you sent me a print copy, you will need to send me an additional print copy this spring. The answer keys are all in Aware from last year, so it's just a matter of simply converting them if you notify me that that's the same key that you want to use. If you want to make changes to your exam or give me a new exam, you'll need to send those to me in the spring, so I'll have plenty of time to enter the exam key and get them printed for you. Anne-Marie's working on a deadline for the APA ELA table grading, and that will be most likely in early March. Stay tuned for more details. I will have all the data uploaded into Aware by April the 20th, so you can make decisions regarding interventions, small group instruction, and tutorials. And we want to make sure that you make all of your exam remediation plans based on the data, not only from the mock exam, but from data that you've been collecting all year. Because we are doing common mock exams in the spring, we've made the district decision not to require a common semester exam. That is at the discretion of your campus. So please work with your campus academic dean along the lines of providing semester exams, but we will not give a district semester exam that will be included in Aware. It's time to make sure that your syllabus is approved and your course has been reauthorized for the 2016-2017 school year. Please work with your campus academic liaison to renew your AP course. You will want to log into your College Board account and ensure that your course appears in the renewal list and that all courses are certified by October 15th. If you're new to Birdville ISD, you will need to make sure you have a College Board account and that you have the common syllabus ID number for your course. If you need that common syllabus number, please contact me through email. Why is it important to make sure that your course has been approved and renewed through the audit process? It's very simple. Transcripts can only be reflective of AP credit if the courses have been approved for AP audit. Last year we had one teacher who had classes at Birdville High School and at Richland High School. She did a great job of submitting her course for audit at one campus and was under the impression that it would cover her second campus. Unfortunately, College Board only works on a bi-campus format, so students at one of her campuses got AP credit on their transcripts and the other one did not. So particularly if you teach students from more than one campus, you will need to make sure that you have a syllabus approved for each campus that you teach on. If you attended AP Summer Institute, you have 2 steps to take to complete that process. The first step is to make sure you have added AP Summer Institute to your Eduphoria portfolio. You can follow the procedure for requesting professional development credit, which is on the Birdville ISD Professional Learning website. The second step is to send a copy of your certificate, either scanned or pictured, through email to me so that I can submit it to TEA for reimbursement for APSI funding. You have to do both steps. One step goes to one department and one step goes to the other department. And those systems don't feed into one another. So please make sure that you've completed both steps for credit. I have meetings scheduled on campus with principals and academic deans on August the 31st to set individual AP goals for each campus. We'll review the data, we're going to celebrate the great performance of your students, and we're going to discuss what district support is needed from the district office. After that meeting, we're going to work on setting AP goals for each campus and each subject area. If you have specific needs that you need from the Advanced Academics District Office, please communicate that with your district campus leadership so that I can meet the needs and expectations that you have for the program. I'm often asked about AP drop procedures, and in the past we have not had a district-wide consistent policy or application of policy, and after the teacher feedback from the Advanced Academics Task Force last year, we made a change to the handbook, and this will be our consistent district policy for AP and pre-AP drop procedures. While we're talking about drop procedures, the first thing I really want to emphasize is that it is incumbent upon us to create a culture of support for students taking academic challenging classes, and we want to make sure that we retain them if at all possible. These procedures for drops are really designed to catch the students in a safety net who are really struggling and whose placement may not be on point. During the first 6 weeks of instruction, it's primarily the teacher's responsibility to contact parents if students are struggling and to intervene with struggling students with very active and hands-on strategies for making sure that they develop skills and develop study skills and strategies for being successful. We know that the curriculum goes very quickly the first 6 weeks of your courses, and at the end of the first 6 weeks, you may have some students who are failing. At that point in time, we're going to convene a collaboration conference where we bring the teacher, the student, and parents and the counselor together to look at the success of or failure of the child. If you've talked about the situation and you feel like there's supports you can put in place to help that child, you'll make a plan going forward. If at that time there's consensus around placement problems and you feel like a drop is needed, the counselor can institute a drop for the student at that point in time at the end of the first 6 weeks. There will be no further drops after that first 6-week committee meeting during the second or third 6 weeks unless you have the written permission of the principal. In order to get written permission from the principal, the parent and student will need to make an appeal to the principal and have a face-to-face meeting to discuss the challenges that the student is facing and what steps and strategies need to take place for that student to become successful. If you have any questions about this, I will be on campus and happy to talk to you about the procedure. It really is speeding up what we have done before and being very deliberate about bringing in our parents and our students on that decision-making process. I just want to give you a heads up that in the spring we're going to ask each teacher in a pre-AP and an AP class to make a recommendation for students going forward in advanced academics classes. You're going to be considering what the students can do as far as ability and readiness to learn in the next class, but also considering their task commitment. And you're going to be asked to make a recommendation at that point in time. We do have an open enrollment policy for AP courses and pre-AP courses in Birdville ISD, and that policy really doesn't change. This is just an extra step that is going to bring in an ability to have conversations with students around these two concepts on are they prepared for academically challenging work. If they don't receive a yes vote in each of these categories to be enrolled in the next upcoming class, they're going to have another meeting with the counselor and the principal to discuss their desire to take the class even without recommendation from the teacher. All of those processes will be documented in forms which will be sent to campus in the spring.